So update on these Thurmans. You can see got a repair going on here. So I actually was wearing them a few days, like I mentioned in my other video, and I noticed right, this is not going to show up in the video, but right basically on the right boot, right at the bottom of the heel there. You can't see it because it doesn't have the issue anymore, but you know, all the way to the bottom, right in the center of the heel was a nail. And you know, I guess with some other nicks, they have nails here and there, you know, somewhere on the heel, but they're not like right under your heel where you're putting your weight. So you don't really feel them, or you don't feel them at all. And unfortunately with this one, right where it was literally center, dead center in the heel, I could feel it. And it kind of felt like there was a pebble underneath underneath my heel as I walked around. And I was like, this isn't gonna work. This is, you know, defective. I shouldn't have to deal with this. It kept bothering me. It didn't hurt, but it was annoying. It was like an irritation. So I reached out to Nix I sent them a message, their customer service, on May 10th. They had a auto response, and then later that day by 11 a.m. I got an actual customer service rep, and I'll pull up a screenshot of kind of what they're talking about, but they sort of mention this, like they're talking about foot bump issues, link an email or a video, and you know, take a look at this, and you know, you can do this own fix thing. And I kind of was put off a little bit, like how you can fix this yourself, but it's like I paid, you know, $500 for these boots. You guys should fix it. They shouldn't have been defective. You shouldn't have sent it to me. So initially I was a little bit put off. I was like, well, this kind of isn't good customer service. They're kind of blowing me off. But I think in retrospect, they're just trying to give you, you know, advice on, you know, hey, you can do this to fix it. I declined that, and I basically said, you know, I don't want to do that. This nail is significant, and if I try to hammer down the sock liner, it's going to actually puncture through like the nail below. And you know, maybe I send them a photo, and I'll post that in the video too, but maybe they just didn't know what they were doing. I'm not sure, I don't know. But fortunately, when I kind of just didn't push back, it wasn't like there was any hostility, but I'm like, no, I would like to send them in and repair them. They replied back within an hour saying they wrote up a repair order and that I should have a UPS label, which I did, a separate email. This is in the original box. You can see this is the box says repair. Put just the right boot that had the issue in the box. Put the label they gave me on there, shipped it off to them, and it was kind of crazy how quick it was. So I sent this back to them. I mailed it that evening. So like it probably was moving in the mail by, you know, the 12th with UPS, and I live in Northern California, and this is Spokane, Washington where it's going, so it's not too far away. But you know, this is UPS ground. I thought it would have taken longer. So they had them Monday, and I got a few emails, like a received or something, and then it looks like here Monday morning is when they had them back, May 15th. So I mailed them the evening of the 11th, basically on the way out to dinner, and they had it, you know, just a few days later. That was Thursday the 11th in the evening. They had it Monday morning on the 15th. And there was actually, I'll show a screenshot of this. It actually is funny. It says boots walked back, made by Lucas Menzinger, and I think he's that's one of the Lucases on their YouTube videos. I think maybe that's the customer service manager. You know, someone correct me, but it's one of the Lucases on their YouTube channel. So they did that, and then they sent me out more emails when they shipped it out, and they shipped it to me. I'm trying to figure out which email. Wednesday, I think. I don't remember when they shipped it back. I got them back yesterday. So like that was a really fast turnaround. I mailed them the evening of the 11th, which may as well be the morning of the 12th, because I don't think they got it picked up at that time. I don't remember if the tracking said that. So like the 12th, 13th, 14th, 13th, 14th were weekend, 15th they get it, and I had it back by Friday the 19th. So like literally a week exactly from sending them in, I had them back in my hands, and they fixed it. I don't know if this can actually get, the lighting and everything is going to be really hard here, but if you look, anyway, you don't see the divot anymore, trust me. Maybe I'll throw up a photo of the inside of the boot. I'll throw some comments I saw on YouTube, on Reddit, but somebody had posted the exact same problem with their boots, and Shyler had actually replied to them and said it's a soft spot nail, where basically when they have the last when they're last in the boot, they obviously have a footbed nailed to the last, and they're supposed to remove those nails. I think you see 3 of them, at least 2 front and back. I think there's a third one that holds it down, and they're supposed to pull those out before they put on the sole, and they obviously messed up, and he's saying it should never happen. But fortunately they're able to fix it really quickly. So like if I needed these boots, which I don't, for work or something, like 1 week without them, like that's cool. That's a really quick turnaround considering most of that time was shipping. So I got them back, and I even got some bonuses. So let me open this guy up here. So they sent me back, so this is cool, a little consolation for their mistake. So, you know, I like it, I appreciate it. They gave me a new set of laces, which actually is useful because the pair of laces that came with this, both of them are actually pretty thin, like they stretched, or they're just inconsistent, but these ones are particularly thin, so they may snap. I'm not going to use the new ones until these break because I don't want to waste them, but they're pretty thin. I got a thing of NYX grease, which wasn't in the original box. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be because I got one with my, which pair? I mean, I guess it's possible it was in the box and I didn't notice it, but I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the box that I sent back. I sent them back in the one boot back in the original box, but I don't think this was in there. And this came with my 1964 tan Overlanders, so I think the Builder Pros would have had it. So I don't know if that was there, but these definitely were not. So when I bought these on the sale that they did back in April, I think, for a week or something, they had just come with these kilties, which is the style I like, the smooth cut. And they were actually already laced, whereas my other NYX that I bought didn't come with laces. They had the laces in the boot. They weren't on the boot. So that was another reason I was saying I think these were the prototypes. Or I know they were actually, now that I was looking at Reddit, because the post says the prototypes. So they came with sort of the wrong kiltie for a Builder Pro. This is the standard one you get. I don't know if I'll ever put these in, but worst case, if these get really trashed or worn out, I can cut these like I've done in my other videos and then reinstall them. So it's cool to have a fresh set of 1964 brown kilties. It's weird, look how rough that is. So that's kind of bonus, extra laces, and then, I don't know, maybe it's possible this was actually in the box I sent back. When they took everything out, they found it and they're like, whoops, you know, the customer left it, but I think they just threw it in. So yeah, quick video on NYX customer service, really good. You know, I would admit I started off like initially being like their initial kind of not pushback, but sort of like a, hey, you could fix this on your own. That kind of put me off. I think if you're selling a $500 boot, it should have been more apparent of, we can fix this for you, but we would suggest you try this on your own. But I also think maybe that rep wasn't aware that this was a production mistake, the whole soft spot nail. But either way, they made it right. They made it right very quickly. 1 week turnaround is pretty insane, actually. From my experience, NYX customer service has been good. I had a made-to-order boot that I put in back in December of last year, and I just was too impatient, didn't stick it out, and I don't regret. I canceled it, and it was as easy as literally just sending them an email, and they replied, I think, in a day, and said, we processed your cancellation. You'll get a refund in a day or two. I had gotten the refund immediately because I'd paid through PayPal, and that was super easy. No pushback or pressure. It was like literally, oh yeah, your order's canceled, your money's coming. So that was awesome. I had actually changed that made to order, the spec on it once, I think, once or twice. I changed the size from a 11E to a D, thinking I really wanted the tighter heel, and then I was like, maybe that's going to be too tight, and that probably would have been. I don't think I fit 11D. My white C350s are kind of snug. I already sold a pair. So changing spec on a made order was super easy. Canceling an order was super easy. Repair was fast and pretty easy. You know, all it had me say, all it required me to say was, no, I want you guys to repair it. I want you to send, or I want to send it back, and they immediately complied. So their customer service is, I would say, you know, definitely an A, maybe an A plus. Didn't cost me a cent. They paid shipping. These actually were ready to ship, so these were free shipping to me, and then the shipping back to them was on their dime, and the shipping back to me was on their dime, as it should be. So, like, yeah, NYX customer service is pretty dope. So if you have any concerns, you know, buying something, I wouldn't, you know, they'll make it right. Shiler is super active on these style forum and Reddit, and you know, they're really receptive. So yeah, I'm impressed. So I'm gonna start wearing these again. I put them on last night briefly, took off my overlanders I was wearing, and it feels the same as before, except for I don't feel that, you know, pebble under my heel, so they didn't like mess up the fit. They're still awesome. It reminded me of, dang, those overlanders really are tight on the toe here, because these are just gorgeous. They fit so nice. So later.